Hey, what's up? My name's Jared, and today I'm going to give you a really simple, quick tutorial on building a little dog bed. Okay, so first things first, going to need some particle board. Now, majority of the things I'm using are actual second-hand things that I had used from other jobs, but yeah. Bit of particle board, flooring. It's $38 for a full sheet, but this is only a little bit, so if you're going out and buying it yourself, you could buy some 20mm ply or something like that and buy it in a little sheet, and that's also pretty cheap. Then also I'm using offcut of 10mm ply, nice and long. You could use 2B1, which is also pretty cheap, little length of pine. Some 70B35, again offcuts from jobs, but yeah, you can pick up a 2.4 meter length of pine for like $8 or something ridiculously cheap, so yeah, it's pretty cheap. And then also some astroturf. Now astroturf, I'm not sure how much astroturf is. I've got a heap of it from the local tennis court, was getting rid of it, so I thought I'd grab that. But yeah, astroturf, I'm pretty sure it's also pretty cheap for like a metre square, which is practically as much as you need. Okay, so your first step will be to cut down your particle board or plywood or MDF or whatever you're using. Now, because I'm using particle board and these sheets come in 900mm widths, I'm going to keep that 900mm width and measure along another 900mm this way to create a square. Mark that off and then cut that off, and then that'll be my top sheet. Okay, now once you've done that, your next step will be to cut the legs. Now I was going to be all fancy and make a frame up and frame around this edge the whole way, and then put legs coming out of that. But to save money and time, which is a very scarce thing, I'm just going to cut these bits of ply 150mm long, and then 150mm long, 150mm long, so on the whole way through. Cut 8 of them, and then once you've cut all 8 of them, get one and another, nail them together. Pretty simple. Okay, so once you've nailed your legs together, I nailed mine together just with 2 90mm nails, and yeah, that holds it pretty well. It'll just be as simple as putting a nail right here, and they're about 20mm in from each side, and then that way you'll get into each block. If you're worried about splitting your pine, this is pretty green, so it's not really splitting, but if you're worried about splitting your pine, you can just pre-drill it with an 1/8 drill bit in each. Yeah, and that'll work. Obviously, a leg on each side the whole way around. And yeah. Okay, so once you've done all that, it should be looking a little something like this, with the legs around it. And because I used particle board, it's pretty solid. I mean, you could jump on that and it won't move. And because it's so thick here, you don't have to worry about putting a frame around here, which is good. So yeah. Next step will be to put your astroturf on. Now, because, as I said before, this is particle board and it's 900 by 900, I'm going to cut a metre by metre piece of astroturf. That'll give me 50mm each side. There, same up there, to have overhang. So I'll cut that out and then explain how to put it on. Okay, so I forgot to mention before, but it sits on a lot easier if you cut a little 50 by 50 millimeter square out of each corner. That way it can fold down on that side and then fold down on that side and then be nice and tight there. But then yeah, the next step will be to put it on there pretty much. So I forgot to mention at the start of the video, but you're also going to need, just put it on my, you're also going to need some sort of liquid nails or something, some sort of adhesive to stick it on, and just bloody pretty much put as much on as you can, and stand all over it, put some pressure on there and make sure it binds with the astroturf. Also putting some down around here a little bit and along there will also help, but yeah, don't be afraid to put too much on. Okay, so once you've stuck that on, it should be sitting down in there pretty well. Corners should be sitting in pretty well as well. Next step will be to get this piece of plywood or 2x1, whichever you decided, and to cut it to the length of your top sheet. In my case 900mm, but obviously depending on what size you cut your top sheet, it'll be that size. I'm going to 45 my corners because it'll look a little bit nicer, but it's up to you, it doesn't really change anything. Okay, so once you've cut your side pieces, all you need to do is sit them on like that and put a cloud in this edge, this edge, this edge, the whole way along, around 50 to 100mm apart. That way you'll be holding down your astroturf really well. And obviously the same way the whole way around the frame. Yeah. Okay, so as I was saying before, cut these to length, clout them in there along that top sheet into the edge of the top sheet. Yeah, 45 my corners, looks pretty good. And yeah, that way it holds down the astroturf really well, and that extra adhesive underneath it holds it down also. The reason it's so good to have this, and rather than going out and spending $20, $40 on a dog bed, is, well, the reason it's good for me is because we have Kelpie dogs and they're outside and all the time, so if we go and give them a pillow bed like that, they're obviously going to go and rip it up. For something like this, it's held down nice and secure, they can't rip it up, and yeah, it's warm at night, and if it gets dirty you can just wash it off pretty easy. Okay, that was it for this video. Thanks a lot for watching. If you found it helpful at all, please be sure to give it a like, it helps a lot. And yeah, if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.